Welcome to Company Habit number 2. So we're gonna talk about racism real quick. It's not gonna be real quick. So if you are a very sensitive person, this video is not for you. All right, and we're gonna keep the shit real. I like to give y'all 99.9. And first, welcome back to number 9 because I have 209 of y'all again. So I thank you for that. We're gonna talk about some hard topics, man. And racism is the hardest topic because no one really wants to address it. And as long as no one's going to address it, it's never gonna get fixed. All right, which is part of the problem. So on TikTok this weekend, I woke up to a racist discussion about colorism and skin tone. And the part they left off is that white people can't experience racism. But they are wrong because white people can experience racism from blacks and other white people. And I don't care who you are, you do not have to like this video. You do not have to like the concept, but you cannot deny the inevitable truth. So here's a pure example. And before you say that they're experiencing bigotry, there is no difference between being a bigot and being a racist. All right, a lot of y'all may think it is, but if you Google the dictionaries, the definitions, they are the same. They're just worded differently. One of them has longer words and a more extravagant way of saying that you're a fucking racist, which I think is racism. And bigoted, it says pretty much the same damn shit. Just learn how to read. Stop relying on technology and learn how to fucking read. So anyway, I woke up and I was listening to the conversation, and it was mostly black people talking. I'm part black, so I got my foot in this game. And as they were talking about how light-skinned blacks, dark-skinned blacks, and darker-skinned blacks have this issue. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm 49, and I can't get in because my live guest is suspended. So I'm suspended from being a guest in anybody's box for like a couple of more days. And as they were talking, because they had light-skinned people on there like me, and how we have light-skinned privilege, which was something I just learned today. Because light-skinned privilege ain't never worked for me. I'm 49, and my light skin has not made a difference. The only thing my face has made a difference in is people don't think that I'm black. That's it. They will look at me and they will ask me if I was Mexican or what native tribe I'm from or whatever. But most of the time, unless you know me and know that I'm part black, most people don't think that I'm part black. All right? So that's also been a problem. And this is where we're going to start. We're going to start with white people experiencing racism from blacks and other whites first. So if you are white and you are into interracial relationship, this is for you. Because you are on a journey that's going to fucking suck. And for everybody who's black, who thinks that black people can't be racist, or who are white and think that black people can't be racist, you're fooling yourself. You are straight, honest to God, fooling yourself because people don't want to believe that some people are above racism. Nobody's above being a racist. Nobody. I don't give a flying fuck what your color is. If you're a racist, you're a fucking racist. Stop denying this shit. Stop it. Stop it right now. Because I had a white stepmother who literally was called the in-lover in front of me when I was a child. No. This is the same stepmother who yelled at a white lady who escorted my little ass at 11 years old out of Toys R Us. Like, literally, this lady walked me right back out of Toys R Us. No sooner than I got into Toys R Us, she walked me right back out. And my stepmother went to her ass. Understand that. These are two white women arguing. And my stepmother said, no, you only doing that shit because he's colored. No. Our money is green, and we have the money. And those other two kids that went in, their parents are right here because my parents and their parents was talking, and they told us to go in the store together, and so we did. But the lady caught me at the store and walked my ass back out the store. And my stepmother has been acquitted for, like, why do you have a black child? You are an in-lover, So my surrogate white family, man, they've been through some shit for having me in their family. So they have been through shit from white people as well as from black people. So, white people can be the victim of racism. Whether it come from white people or black people, no one is above racism. And that's the thing, If you're not aware of this, it's probably because you just haven't seen it. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, it just means you haven't seen it. Now, moving on from that, we're going to go to the color scale scheme. All right, because my true color's up here. I'm super yellow versus down here where I'm super brown. You can't tell by this lighting, but if I open up my arm, you can see the difference. Or you can look at this arm compared to this arm, because this arm barely sees the sun. Anyway, the point being made is that black people have a lot of racism towards their own. Black people have a lot of racism towards mixed kids, but so do white people, so do Asian people, because if they don't know what you're mixed with, oh, you're mixed, you're an abomination, etc., etc. You don't know how many times I've been told that I was an abomination. You don't know how many times I've been told that as a mixed person, I am not accepted. So, another part of this topic is that in a different live, the same conversation was happening about why black men don't date black women. But they never asked about the treatment that black men have received from black women. Now, it's not all black women. There are exceptions to every rule, and you just have to deal with that shit. But, in my case, before I figured out that I was mixed, I only wanted to be black. And I got rejected by a fuck ton of black girls. And I had a choice. I can wait until I'm 90 for the right black girl to come along, or I can live my life and move forward, and hopefully the right girl will come along regardless of her color. I have a preference to date Asian women. If y'all have a problem with that, that's a you problem, not a me problem, because I don't have a problem dating Asian women. I love Asian women. No, I'm going to marry an Asian woman, or I'm going to marry a Native American. I'm hoping to marry one specific Asian woman who does this when she gets into a wrestling ring. I know she's never going to see this until we get married. But anyway, it's a pipe dream, but dreams do come true. Don't give up on your dreams. I will never give up on mine. Now, as a person who has been through a lot in my 49 years as a mixed person, there are things that I have gone through that some people will never go through. There are things that they have gone through that I will never go through. But as a mixed person, I've gone through it all, especially when it comes to racism. I've been told by black people, you're never going to be black enough. I've been told by black girls, you're never going to be black enough. And as for the black girls that I've dated, they have all pretty much treated me like dog shit. As for a couple of the white girls that I dated, they only dated me because dating out of their race was a thing that pissed off their daddies to get them attention. However, those girls also cheated on me, and however, also they did it because their friends were doing it. So it wasn't about love for them as it was about love for me. Especially when my ex-girlfriend with the same name as my ex-fiance brought her new boyfriend to my job. Twice in my life, I've had two girls be bold enough to do that. One was white and one was black, and that shit fucking sucked. The first person that did it to me was a black girl, and she brought her new boyfriend to my dad's porch, and I had to teach him how to fly on the James Williams Jr. Express. And then the second girl, that was a white girl, she brought her new boyfriend to my motherfucking job, and they got a free meal off of my lunch ticket because I tried to kill them. Anyway, that being said, you can't make that shit up, How many times in your life can something like that happen? Oh, I'm praying that it never happens again, but it can happen. And that's the problem with people not believing that black people can be racist towards white people. Yeah, all people can be racist towards anybody. No one is above the racism circle. If you're going to be racist, you're going to be racist. And 9 times out of 10, people are taught how to be racist. They are not born racist. No white person is inherently racist. They are taught racism. I learned this as I got older. There was a girl back in grade school who called me the N-word, and before I realized what happened, I bust her fucking lip. I didn't get in trouble in school for it because it took forever for the principal to coach the N-word out my mouth because we did not use that word in our house. It just wasn't something that we did. That was not something that we did within the projects. We never used the N-word. Till we moved over here, we never used the N-word. We listened to it in music where we didn't, say the word, And, hell, we did more swearing than we did using the N-word. And then that's why I try to keep my nephews and them from using that word, which we'll make that a bonus video about the N-word. Anyway, moving on, when it comes down to racism, unfortunately, I've said this before, I'll say it again, I unfortunately have been the victim of reverse racism, mostly from black people. I don't mean Africans. I've had a couple of racial issues from some African cats, but literally from Black Americans, I've had a lot of fucking racism, and it's one of those things where I can I can accept it and I can deal with it, which is what I've done for the bulk of my life. But at that same time, it hurts deep and it angers and it hits you different when you mixed versus when you just a black person and a black person calls you something, y'all fist bump. But when that same black person looks at you and looks at another black person and be like, man, why y'all bring this fucking half breed? You know, I've been places where that's been said right smack dead in front of me, and I'm like, you know what, man, I don't have to be here, and I'll go the fuck away, and there are things that like that has happened many a times, and I'm like, you know what, you act like I had a choice, I didn't get a choice. Lots of people don't get a choice because, like I tell people all the time, if I had a choice just between me and the internet, if I had a choice, I'd have been full-blooded native without question. Now, no, I'm not saying that being native is better than everything else, but I feel more native than I've ever felt black and than I've ever felt white. And that was right up until I found out that natives really don't like mixed breeds either. And I found that out in my 20s too. And again, I'll tell y'all this story where I tried to get with a high chieftain's daughter, and her two uncles straight told me to my face, I'm not pure blood and we don't want you nowhere near her. And I unfortunately retorted with, if you could stand up, I would beat your ass. But since you can't, I'm just going to roll you down the hill. And when the other brother came to me, I said, okay, like I told Tiny here, if you could stand up, I would beat your ass. There's no honor in hitting a man who can't stand up and fight back. So I'm just going to push your ass in the traffic while it's ongoing. Yes, that was rude. Yes, it was wrong. Yes, I said that shit. I own it. I'm not a saint. But at that same time, you run in my shoes, having some native guy look you dead in the face and tell you, you ain't shit. You're unpure. You don't deserve to date our granddaughter, niece, whatever she was to them. And at the same time, I'm like, so you would much rather her marry somebody who treats her like fucking shit than marry someone who can love her forever, despite the fact that I am not pure. And that shit hurt. It hurt. But those were the only two Native American incidents I had. I had maybe one or two incidences on TikTok, but they were not like face-to-face exchanges. Most of the people on TikTok have accepted me very well as a mixed native, and I have some people who are native who follow me and they give me the time of day, and I thank God for that. And then you're always gonna have that one person who's like, oh, well, you're mixed native, you don't really have a place here. No, I've gotten that. I get it. I'm not mad about it. It is a fact. I am mixed native. But at that same time, you have to understand, from where I stand as a mixed person, we don't have a fucking support group. Period. We've never had a support group. And if you are not handled properly by all three of your ethnic heritages or your racial heritages, or however you want to call it, ethnicities, nationalities, whatever, if you are not handled properly by these people, you feel like you are not wanted and you don't fit in. And that's always been my case. And I'm 49 and I still get that shit every now and again. And we'll use a prime example. So if you guys get this to The Rock, maybe he'll give me a job. But I'll give you a prime example. A lot of people have always been mad as hell at The Rock because he never plays a black character. Alright? It's like, oh, you always play your Samoan side. You always play your Samoan side. But yet, everyone understands that he has done a lot for the Samoan and the black community, but the only people that really give him credit is the Samoan side. And he has tried to play a black historical character, but everybody is like, you're not black enough for that role. He wanted to make a John Henry movie, as in the old John Henry was a steel driving man. He died up on that track with his hammer in his hand. Here we go. Old John Henry was a steel driving man. He could lay down a track like nobody can. Old John Henry was a steel driving man. He died on that there track with his hammer in his hand. That'll give you reference. Just go look up old John Henry, the steel driving man. He's a black guy who made he outran a fucking spiking machine. hammer and nail, and he beat the fucking machine. The machine ran out of gas and blew up. John Henry ran out of gas and he died. But John Henry made it further down the track than the damn machine. So they wouldn't let rock play that role. But yet everybody in the black community are like, you don't ever play nobody black. You don't ever play nobody black. Oh yeah, you played that mixed guy when you played Walking Tall, which is one of his best movies to date. I still like Scorpion King. I don't want to hear no shit. I love the Scorpion King. It's my favorite rock movie, and y'all can kiss my ass on that. Anyway, the fact of the matter is that mixed people don't have a support group. Alright? He's biracial. I'm multicultural. Or I'm multiracial. Because I am native, I am black, and I am white. Where he is just Samoan and black. But technically you can call him mixed ethnicity too, because he has triple citizenship. Because he has Canadian citizenship, he has Samoan citizenship, and he was born in America, which makes him American. So, he still has all of that. So therefore, he's only a year older than me. So Rock, if you get this, I need a job. I see how you help out your friends. So let's be friends and give me a job. Anyway, moving on. The thing is, no one is above racism. No one. And if you are racist, you are racist. Recording. Back away. Sorry about that. Anyway, the thing is that when you don't have a support system, and mixed children, we all tend to flock together, and we still don't have a support system. And we tend to understand that, alright, I am this skin tone, and I have that little divide, so you can see my skin tone. You can probably see it better in a different light, but in like live action, you can see that there's like high yellow and brown, alright? And as I've learned throughout the years that not all skinfolk is kinfolk, or not all kinfolk is skinfolk, or better yet, everybody who is brown ain't always there to watch you go down. Some of them are holding you. So the thing is, with that, you have to understand that racism, black people can be racist, white people can be racist, natives can be racist, Asians can be racist, and anybody in the diaspora of being a human being can be racist. And the best way I can say this, there is a scene in Mass Effect 2 where a Turian comes into the I guess it would be the space TSA, and he has this damn ceremonial dagger, and the lady says you can't bring this ceremonial dagger, and the Turian says you humans are all racist. Motherfucker hit it right on the dime. Racist, xenophobic. No human is above these feelings or emotions, because that's what makes you human. However, you can change that. You can choose to not be racist. Even if you are born and raised into a racist family, you can choose to not be a racist. And the thing is, do you choose to not be a racist, or do you choose to be a douchebag full of dick tips and a dumpster fire and just be a fucking racist? I mean, you don't have to be a racist, but if you choose to be a racist, remember you are making that choice, and that choice can either make you or break you, and it's really up to you to figure out which one you are going to do. So if you're going to be a racist, you understand that there are consequences with the shit that come out your mouth, and that consequence is honestly truly to God probably a deserved beatdown. Alright? Y'all might not like what I said, but if you are a racist and you walk to somebody who is not the same race as you and you straight up holler, you're in, if you get your teeth rearranged, you ask for that. Now, on the flip side of that, if you are a black person and you walk up to a white person and you call them an H or a cracker, then they rearrange your dental work. They might not have been a racist, but you were being racist to them, so they rearrange your damn dental work. So therefore, black people can be racist towards white people, because black people are racist towards their own. This whole paper bag test. This works also in other colored communities, because if you look at the big three in the Asian world, you have Chinese, Japanese, and Korea. A lot of Korean and Chinese people do not like Japanese people. Now, on a personal note, is 9 times out of 10 is bred racism from shit that happened in World War II and before that, and also in the Korean War. A lot of people also don't like Vietnamese people. And a lot of people from China don't really like Tibet because of all the shit's going on with the Dalai Lama. So it's not above other cultures to be racist towards their own either. And when I say the big three, like I said, Chinese didn't like the Japanese, Korean didn't like the Japanese, and South Korea doesn't like North Korea. And then I don't know how they're falling out with the Chinese and Japanese because that's beyond my diaspora of understanding of how certain Asian races don't like certain Asian races. So, or Asian nationalities. So I can't really say Asian races because the founder of each country was more than likely an Asian person. And I'm going to hurry up and end this video because people are talking. And I don't want their conversation in the video. But the bottom line is this, is that no one, no male, no female, no alternative lifestyle person is above racism. Thank you for watching. I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. Be seeing you.